for coverage you can count on. This is the KFOX 14 Morning News.
We're continuing our coverage of the I-10 closure by downtown following yesterday's fiery semi-crash. This is a live look via our KFOX 14 Skycam. You can see crews there cleaning up the debris from what was left behind from yesterday's crash. Candlelight will be telling you how to get around the closures because both directions of I-10 in that area shut down. We're pretty much in rush hour traffic now.
Right now we are. You can already see all the traffic building up there, and I'm like, if you don't have to head that way, just don't do it. Don't do it.
Amazing images we're seeing. It is 6:59. Good morning to you. I'm John Purvis.
And I'm Kajal Dashy. It's Friday, July 20th. Brad Montgomery off this morning. Candlelight filling in for weather. We'll get to traffic now in just a moment, but first, our weather heating up. The good news is nothing crazy weather-wise, so at least that gives me a little bit of a break as I'm focusing on the roadways this morning. Temps in the 80s, Hospitals of Providence giving us a sunny, beautiful view over the mountains. Humidity trying to stick around. You can see that moisture has moved off to our west, so the rain chances that we kind of had in the forecast into the weekend have cleared. We had very light scattered showers in the overnight hours that really didn't bring down much rain. Our temps again going to heat up. Today we will be in the triple digits. 102 the expected high for El Paso, 102 the high for Las Cruces. Sunny, clear skies ahead, but that moisture is going to be trying to push back into the area again. I'll let you know what you can expect coming up. So now with these triple digits, the last thing you want to do is be stuck in traffic. This morning, this is a live look at the downtown area from another view, our TxDOT cams, and you can already see here those of you that are headed in this direction westbound are already seeing delays. Traffic is forced to exit here at Mesa, detours through the area and re-enters at Yandell. On the opposite end, traffic forced to exit at downtown for those headed eastbound and re-enter at Wyoming. A lot of busy traffic already in the area, so again, you have to try those alternate routes. You can consider taking the border highway right now westbound, not a lot of issues. Eastbound a little busy. You can also take Paisano or Alameda. You can also cut through Texas. If you are north of I-10, you can cut through Montana. North Mesa already seeing delays as well. Through traffic, I urge you to cut through Trans Mountain. That area is seeing steady traffic, but I'm not tracking major delays. Candlelight, we're continuing our team coverage this morning. Crews are continuing to pick up pieces on I-10 from yesterday's fiery semi-truck crash. KFOX 14 Morning News reporter Simon William live in downtown El Paso with the progress crews are making now and what caused the accident. Simon?
Well, right now, multiple agencies are hard at work to reopen I-10. The aftermath of this crash is spread across the interstate, and with the sun up, you can clearly see the damage on this utility bridge that the semi-truck crashed into. All that remains is that tire right on top. But here's a look from the sky's point of view. Now you can see just how many workers are on I-10 right now to clean this mess. We've stood alongside the crews all night as they removed the semi-truck from the bridge, cleaned up diesel fuel that spilled onto the highway, and continued to stabilize that bridge there. And we're told all of this damage that you're seeing right now started with a water bottle. It was just after 1:30 in the afternoon, and El Paso traffic was flowing as normal right before it happened.
It's terrifying.
White Mountain Trucking say that a man driving a semi-truck reached for a bottle of water and veered to the right before driving up the side of the freeway and hitting a utility bridge.
And all of a sudden, just the loudest boom ever, something that I've never heard before, really, and it just went up in flames.
It was like almost everyone in El Paso could hear it. It was so loud. Like, I'm surprised that the glass at our office didn't break.
With the truck on fire, the driver escaped, and it was all captured on video. The driver visibly wobbling out of the truck. El Pasoans anxiously standing by say the heat was intense and came almost instantly after the crash.
The fire was so close to us that we could feel the heat from where we were sitting at.
Like, as soon as the boom happened and we saw that the truck crashed, the flames were like almost instant.
TxDOT says that the bridge contained gas, water, electric, and phone lines, but they say the gas line was not active. That driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and White Mountain Trucking say that he's since been released. Meanwhile, TxDOT is extending their resources to open the freeway. Crews removed the semi-truck just after 1 o'clock this morning. TxDOT says their next goal is to stabilize this utility bridge, and they've flown out a bridge engineer from Austin, Texas to help with that. They say this bridge is the I-10 is expected to stay closed until further notice. Obviously, with traffic picking up this morning, we're expecting to see a lot of delays because of the closure. Right now, we have Amy Licerio in the traffic tracker, who is on the streets right now to tell us how it looks. Amy?
Good morning, guys. We are officially stuck in traffic. This is getting closer to Porfirio Diaz, headed on I-10 East. Now, we took a drive back towards Executive where it was clear. Even Schuster was a little clearer. But you can see as we approach this downtown exit, this is where the buildup starts. Some people are even exiting off of Porfirio Diaz here to get around another way. I know Z and I were even talking about Wyoming and Montana, and we're going to be heading over to I-10 coming back westbound so we can get a look at that. We've been there this morning, and we've also been able to see that traffic was starting to pick up when we were last there just after 6:30. As we get over to that area, we're going to let you know how traffic is flowing. Also, K-Fox's Candlelight is helping from in the studio with that aspect as well. But for now, we will be stuck in traffic, so you don't have to be stuck in traffic this morning. Keep up for those updates. For now, reporting live in your KFOX 14 traffic tracker, Amy Licerio, the KFOX 14 Morning News.
And yesterday's downtown crash impacting drivers as far away as West El Paso, some making a dangerous decision to try and avoid heavy traffic. Look at this. Some of our iSpot reporters were able to capture drivers going the wrong way on the I-10 entrance ramp at Sunland Park. In this photo alone, you can see about 10 drivers trying to go the wrong direction. Those who did wait it out say that their 15-minute commute times became closer to 3 hours. We have some more images coming in from our iSpot reporters. This one taken moments after the crash. You can see down here the interstate filled with debris, the green cab on fire here, and of course that flatbed hanging off of the ledge onto the interstate. Another one that we had from our iSpot reporters, this one a fiery one. Obviously, you can see this extensive damage as well along this utility line. Now, according to TxDOT, the gas line on this utility bridge wasn't active. However, other utilities have been affected. The driver seen in this photo right here walking away from that burning truck. Fortunately, he has been released from the hospital, as Simon mentioned earlier, and there are no other injuries related to this incident.
Soon after the truck crash, KFOX 14 Investigates looked into the trucking company's federal compliance history.
White Mountain Trucking LLC is based in Arizona. They have 58 drivers and trucks with only one reported crash in 2 years. And we're still checking the inspection records for the truck in yesterday's crash. A spokesperson for the company couldn't provide KFOX 14 Investigates with the U.S. transportation number of the truck.
And KFOX 14's coverage of the I-10 crash and its consequences continues online. You can find the latest updates, viewer videos and pictures, as well as our Facebook Lives throughout the day by going to kfoxtv.com.
A toddler dies tragically in a hot bus. The sweltering temperature, authorities say he was left in.
Rescuers continue searching for the missing this morning after a boat capsizes on a Missouri lake. What authorities blame for causing the accident and the death toll so far. Candlelight?
Another warm, sunny start for our Fridays. We're taking a look outside. Temperatures are already in the 80s. Just how hot it's going to be as we head into the weekend and when we're tracking our next chance for rain. As next in the KFOX 14 Morning News, it's coverage you can count on. It is 7:10 now, and we're getting a live view from our KFOX 14 Skycam. Right now it's panning over the overpass here that had those utility lines, and again you can see several agencies on scene here, including the Texas Department of Transportation and their engineers, along with Texas Gas Surface, El Paso Water Utilities, several of them on scene here working to figure out how to ensure that repairs are made to this overpass before they can open up the area. Again, this damage caused by a fiery semi-crash that happened Thursday afternoon, and we've been bringing you team coverage of the area ever since this crash, forcing a major shutdown of I-10 and impacting traffic not only yesterday in the evening, overnight, but now for our Friday morning commute. Take a look at North Mesa, guys. Very busy out there. And again, I-10 east and west is shut down. Traffic in both directions forced to exit here and re-enter I-10 at Wyoming or Yandell. So you really need to plan ahead. I urge you, if you do not have to head towards the downtown area at all or cut through I-10, You don't want to head this way. Take a look at our TxDOT cams. You can see the backup already extending up to a mile here, headed westbound through the downtown area. We have a lot of freight that moves through the area, a lot of semi-trucks. And so again, you want to try and taking Montana Border Highway, Trans Mountain to get around this. As Simon Williams has been telling us, he's been speaking with TxDOT, and they do not expect to open this area until further notice. They are trying to push for the evening rush and later tonight, but that is not a guarantee. Weather-wise, things just hot and sunny out there. The skies are clear, and we are going to see these conditions continue throughout the day. Our temps again in the upper 70s, 80s. Some slight humidity, not going to make it uncomfortable. It's going to be mostly dry and hot. As we take a look at our radar, again, we had some moisture bring us some very light scattered showers, mostly in the mountain areas. It came from our east. It is now pushing off west, and so no break for us from these triple digits, and no more rain expected over the next couple of days. Our futurecast showing that there'll be some slight cloud cover, but again, not enough moisture to bring us that chance for rain, although our dew points are sticking, and that's why we're feeling that slight humidity. Over the next 48 hours, triple digits will stay with us. Again, it'll be sunny, hot. You want to stay hydrated, prepare for the heat. 102 for El Paso and Las Cruces today, 103 for El Paso tomorrow. Las Cruces, a 1 degree difference as you head into your Saturday. We'll take a look at when those rain chances will come back into our forecast coming up.
Several passengers, including some children, are dead after their boat capsized. How people nearby banded together to save some of the survivors. Coming up on the KFOX 14 Morning News. 7:16 now. Rescue teams will resume their search this morning after a duck boat capsized, killing several people.
Authorities now say 13 people, including children, died in yesterday's accident on a Missouri lake. And several others who were on board the tourist boat remain unaccounted for this morning. More than 30 people were on the boat when powerful thunderstorms passed through. Witnesses say some people nearby jumped into the water to help save the passengers.
There was actually a Stone County Sheriff's deputy on the boat. He was in the water rescuing people.
We got one of the life carriers, one of those things, and we tried to get her in there, and we started pulling her up, and I was yelling for people to get CPR.
The National Weather Service clocked top wind speeds in the area at 63 miles per hour. And experts say those winds were likely stronger on the lake. Texas authorities are now investigating after a 3-year-old boy was found dead in the back of a sweltering bus. Deputies in Houston say they found the young boy unresponsive after a field trip with his daycare yesterday. They believe the boy may have fallen asleep on the bus. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Authorities say this tragedy serves as a reminder to parents and other caregivers to always check the back seats.
We implore people to obviously throw something in the back that's meaningful to you, your wallet, something if you have a child in the back, so you remember to get that child out of the back.
Deputies say the temperature inside the bus reached 113 degrees. The bus driver and a chaperone from the daycare are now being questioned.
An El Paso police officer has been found not guilty in the drowning death of his infant son. The 11-month-old drowned in the bathtub last year. Earlier yesterday, the judge dismissed 2 of the 3 charges against Raymond Licon Jr. He took the stand in his own defense, crying multiple times while on the stand and throughout the trial. The jury deliberated for about 4 hours before reaching a decision.
The tragedy that occurred last summer was devastating. His arrest was hard on him.
Licon's family was in the courtroom all week. They hugged him outside the courtroom after the verdict. Licon's son would have turned 2 years old this weekend.
Taking a look now at some trending news this morning. New developments surrounding the national anthem protests and the NFL. The Miami Dolphins have issued a first-of-its-kind policy that's been made public anyway, saying that any player that protests during the anthem could be suspended for up to 4 games. And it comes after the NFL passed a policy back in May that any player who doesn't stand during the anthem, that team could be punished. A new policy by the Dolphins front office was leaked to the Associated Press. Other individual teams haven't made their policies public. Now, the NFL and its players union are saying that they're going to work on a resolution and that there are no new rules relating to anthem policies that will be issued or enforced for the next several weeks.
Right now, we're getting another live look from our KFOX 14 Skycam in downtown El Paso. Again, this is a look at the mess following a fiery semi-truck crash that we first told you about Thursday afternoon. That area shut down because it hit this overpass in the downtown area that has utility lines. What we do know now is just that water pressure is impacted. The El Paso Water Utilities says they did not shut it off, but for those that live near the area of Montana and Yandell, your water pressure might be low. The issue is that because this overpass is compromised, it's not safe for traffic to pass through the area. So again, I-10 East and West shut down. You can already see traffic very busy in the area. We have Simon Williams and Amy Licerio in the area bringing us live updates. At this point, we know that the area is going to be shut down until further notice. As we take a look at our TxDOT cams, it's also showing backup for those that are headed eastbound. So again, coming around from the UTEP area, you can see that slow down here at Porfirio Diaz. Traffic forced to exit at downtown, re-enter at Wyoming. So we're already starting to see that backup add up, not only for those eastbound lanes, but westbound traffic now backed up through Copia. So again, consider your alternate routes. You can cut through Paisano, through Alameda, through the border highway to get into the downtown area and give some relief to I-10. Through traffic, consider taking Trans Mountain because we're only going to see these delays continue to add up. We're bringing you the latest. We're going to continue to update you, but drivers, please do your part to plan ahead and check in with our Twitter at KFOX Traffic. Weather-wise, it's going to be hot, hot, and hot. Right now, our temperature's in the 80s. We're getting a live look of the mountains in West El Paso with our Hospitals of Providence camp. We do still have some lingering humidity in the area, but as we take a look at our radar, the moisture that we were seeing pass through from our east has now moved off to our southwest, and so we're no longer tracking those chances for rain. We had some very light scattered showers yesterday, but not enough to bring down any significant amount. Right now, again, our temperatures continue to be above average. This area of high pressure has really stomped out that moisture. It moved in from our west, and that is why we're hot and mostly dry. So our temps again are well above average. We're supposed to be in the mid 90s. Right now we're in the triple digits. Today expected high of 102. Those triple digits stay with you into your weekend. It's going to be sunny, hot, clear skies. So please, I know a lot of little leagues are underway, a lot of summer things happening. Make sure that you put on the sunblock. Keep your pets in mind. Stay hydrated. 105, the hottest day in our forecast for Monday. More moisture is going to try and push back in, giving us those rain chances Tuesday through Thursday, helping to drop our temps back into those upper 90s and mid 90s. Las Cruces, same for you. Sunny days ahead, triple digits. 102 today and all the way into your weekend. Monday, our expected high of 104. That'll be the hottest day that we're seeing right now. More rain chances head our way Tuesday through Thursday as well. In the city of Crosses helps to drop our temps from the upper 90s to mid 90s. So again, you just want to plan ahead for the hot day. And again, with this closure in the downtown area, you don't want to be stuck in traffic when it is hot. So please plan ahead.
That fiery crash on I-10 created a huge traffic jam. We'll let you know how long some drivers near downtown El Paso say they were stuck and what you can expect during today's commute.
And a debate on the term milk, how a new U.S. Food and Drug Administration rule could change the labels you see in the grocery store. Next on the KFOX 14 Morning News, it's coverage you can count on.
It is 7:25. Our KFOX 14 Morning News reporter Simon Williams just tweeted out that a portion of that utility bridge that crews are working on, where that truck crashed into it yesterday afternoon, has partially collapsed. So we'll bring you a live report on that very soon. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration plans to crack down on non-dairy products that use the name milk. The proposed new FDA guidelines would prohibit products made from soy, almonds, and other plant-based sources from calling themselves milk, because they don't actually contain lactose. Sales of alternative milk products have grown more than 60% over the past 5 years. The move would be a major boost for dairy producers who petitioned the FDA for years to enforce standards across the industry. A waiter at a Saltgrass Steakhouse in West Texas speaks out after dealing with a racist customer.
Khalil Kavil was waiting a table Saturday night when he says he was left a note instead of a tip. The incident happened just a few hours away in Odessa. On the receipt the customer left behind, Khalil says someone had written, quote, "We don't tip terrorists." Kavil shared a photo of the note to Facebook where he received an outpouring of support. He says the incident was a shock to him.
My stomach just dropped, and I didn't know what to say, didn't know what to think in the moment, but of course there's hurt there.
It's unknown who the customers were.
Right now, again, as John just mentioned, we received word from Simon Williams of the scene on the utility bridge. This is a look at the portion that just collapsed. Simon says there's dust in the air. Again, as we've been reporting, several crews are on scene as they were looking at the compromised bridge, working on a plan to make repairs. This is obviously going to add on to the time that this area will be shut down in downtown El Paso. Again, I-10 closed in both directions following a fiery semi-truck crash that we've been reporting on since Thursday afternoon. We are going to be bringing you live updates. Again, Simon just witnessing a portion of this bridge that has just collapsed. Right now, no word on if anyone was injured. We're hoping not, but we'll continue to stay on the scene and bring you those updates as they become available.
The U.S. Senate takes a vote, the bipartisan support to reject a proposal from Russian President Vladimir Putin. Simon?
And a portion of the utility bridge over I-10 just collapsed. We'll give you a live look of I-10 and let you know the progress crews are making. Coming up on the KFOX 14 Morning News, that's coverage you can count on.
All right, guys, right now we're giving you another live look with our KFOX 14 Skycam. Again, Simon Williams just letting us know that a portion of the utility bridge here in the downtown area has now collapsed, and you can see how it's added to the mess here in the area. So far, no word on injuries. We're hoping that the agencies that were on scene, of course, kept a safe distance. You can see how it's fallen apart there. And this is why I-10 was shut down in the first place, because the bridge was compromised following a fiery semi-truck crash that we've been reporting on since Thursday afternoon.
And a smart safety precaution they took. I mean,
and it probably means the closure is going to last even longer if the bridge is collapsing.
Definitely, especially because the utility lines are in there. We already know a TxDOT engineer is en route from Austin to take a look at that. And now with a portion of it obviously broken, it's going to take longer to make those repairs, but better safe than sorry. That's why traffic cannot move through the area. We're going to get to weather and then back to traffic here in just a minute. But again, right now, temps already in the 80s, reaching the mid 80s. Skies are clear, so at least weather's not going to be an issue for you as you're stepping out the door. We do have some slight humidity sticking. As we take a look at our radar, you can see that Futurecast is showing all that moisture has now moved off to our west. So again, we are going to see temperatures reach those triple digits today. It's going to be sunny and hot. Expected highs for El Paso and Las Cruces of 102. That means it's safe to get out to the car wash, especially if you plan ahead and you're not one of those drivers stuck in traffic right now in the downtown area. Take a look. This is a view from our TxDOT cam of a portion of that bridge, again, that collapsed. You can see it here through the I-10 and Kansas. So again, this whole area east and west has been shut down, and I am tracking back up in the area now as people continue to head this way. So at this point, traffic is backed up to Copia for traffic that is headed westbound. It is forced to exit at the downtown area, re-enter at Yandell. Traffic headed eastbound is backed up through the UTEP area. It's forced to exit at downtown and re-enter at Wyoming. Surrounding roadways, if you're going to be cutting through Paisano, it is now seeing delays westbound. The border highway would be your best alternate. Montana and Mesa also seeing heavy traffic. So again, consider Trans Mountain as an alternate route. Just know if you work or live in the area, absolutely have to head that way. You're going to run into delays. We're keeping you up to date with everything step by step on our Twitter at KFOX TV and at KFOX Traffic.
Crews remain on the scene working to clear the scene following yesterday's semi-crash on I-10. And KFOX 14 Morning News reporter Simon Williams is live in downtown El Paso with the latest on that partial bridge collapse he just witnessed a few minutes ago.
Well, a portion of the bridge carrying utility lines is what just collapsed. You can see right now that broken pipe, a slab of concrete, and tons of debris that just fell from the utility bridge onto I-10. Now, this is the bridge that crews have been working on to stabilize since a semi-truck crashed into it yesterday. It carries gas, water, electric, and phone lines, but we're told the gas line has been disconnected. There's a lot happening on the interstate right now, so take a look at this aerial view from our drone. You could still see a little dust lingering in the air after that collapse, and you could also see just how many workers are on I-10 right now. A lot of these workers ran away from the bridge as it collapsed moments ago, but you could see that some workers aren't wasting any time. There's a group working on the corner of the utility bridge right now with an electric saw. Now, we've stood along these crews as they worked all night to remove the semi-truck from the bridge. They cleaned up diesel fuel that spilled onto the highway, and they're continuing to work on this bridge. And we're told all of the damage that you're looking at right now started with a water bottle. It was just after 1:30 in the afternoon, and El Paso traffic was flowing as normal right before it happened.
It's terrifying.
White Mountain Trucking say that a man driving a semi-truck reached for a bottle of water and veered to the right before driving up the side of the freeway and hitting a utility bridge.
And all of a sudden, just the loudest boom ever, something that I've never heard before, really, and it just went up in flames.
It was like almost everyone in El Paso could hear it. It was so loud. Like, I'm surprised that the glass at our office didn't break.
With the truck on fire, the driver escaped, and it was all captured on video. The driver visibly wobbling out of the truck. El Pasoans anxiously standing by say the heat was intense and came almost instantly after the crash.
The fire was so close to us that we could feel the heat from where we were sitting at.
Like, as soon as the boom happened and we saw that the truck crashed, the flames were like almost instant.
TxDOT says that the bridge contained gas, water, electric, and phone lines, but they say the gas line was not active. That driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and White Mountain Trucking say that he's since been released. Meanwhile, TxDOT is extending their resources to open the freeway.
We have one of our bridge engineers from Austin is flying down in the state plane so that we can get them out to take a hard look at the bridge and determine its stability and what the course of action that we need to take from this point on is.
Crews removed the semi-truck just after 1 o'clock this morning. Now, TxDOT says this portion of I-10 that connects East and West El Paso is closed until further notice. And as Candlelight just mentioned, that might even be longer now after this collapse that just happened. With such an important connection closed, and as traffic picks up this morning, we're expecting a lot of people to detour, and we're expecting a lot of backup from those detours. So right now, we have Amy Listerio in the traffic tracker to let you know how the roads are looking right now. Amy.
Well, Candlelight tweeted a little earlier that you may want to avoid all downtown detours, and let me tell you, she could not be more correct about that, especially as we approach the 8 o'clock hour. We're starting to see backup. This is here at the Downtown Convention Center exit. Now, over to I-10 East, you can see how traffic is pretty clear on that side. However, on the other end of it is that Porfirio Diaz buildup from traffic collecting because traffic is being detoured off of I-10 East. We happen to be on I-10 West right now, and we've been stuck in this for about 4 minutes now. So it seems to be moving a little bit quickly. It's starting to pick off now. People getting off on this downtown exit right here are gonna end up on Stanton up ahead, and that's where there's a little more buildup. Coming up, we're going to give you a look from the other side heading back on I-10 East so that you can see what that buildup looks like. But again, Candlelight said stay away from these downtown detours. Just stay away from them. If you could exit earlier, get on Montana, Wyoming, or you could just get off of I-10 from I-10 eastbound, you're good to go. For now, reporting live from your KFOX 14 traffic tracker, Amy Listerio, KFOX 14 Morning News.
7:38 right now. Of course, many drivers say they plan to avoid I-10 near downtown today.
That's where the fiery semi-crash left motorists stuck in traffic for hours yesterday. Some say they even ran out of gas or came close to it.
Walking probably 3 miles to here to fill the little tank, return back, fill my car, and return back.
Avoid this area. Maybe take Trans Mountain to get rides over there, or stay on the west side.
And again, we'll continue to update you as crews work to repair the damage. The U.S. Senate has unanimously rejected a proposal from Russian President Vladimir Putin during the summit in Finland. Putin asked President Trump for permission to interrogate a U.S. ambassador. In exchange, Russia would help in the ongoing investigation of interference in U.S. elections.
I call on President Trump to say once and for all, not through his spokespeople, that the lopsided, disgraceful trade he called an incredible offer is now off the table.
The unified vote from Democrats and Republicans in Congress comes after a week of controversy regarding the U.S.'s relationship with Russia.
And it's been 3 days since President Trump held a summit with Vladimir Putin in Helsinki. He has invited the Russian president, however, now to Washington this fall. That invite came as Trump's National Director of Intelligence, Dan Coats, was being interviewed.
I do want to say we have some breaking news. The White House has announced on Twitter that Vladimir Putin is coming to the White House in the fall.
Say that again?
Vladimir Putin coming
Did I
to
hear
the...
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the news seemed to catch many by surprise, in part because the White House is still dealing with the fallout from the summit this week. Coats has been sounding, that is, the alarm about the ongoing cyber threat from Russia.
But it's undeniable that the Russians are taking the lead on this. Basically, they are the ones that are trying to undermine our basic values, divide us with our allies. They are the ones that are trying to wreak havoc over our election process.
Coats also said he still doesn't know what was agreed upon in Helsinki behind closed doors and that the president shouldn't have met with Putin alone. Now, according to White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders, the president did agree to ongoing working dialogue with Russia while in Helsinki. And Trump has called that summit, quote, a great success and says he looks forward to the second meeting.
An extravagant indulgence. Find out just how much this Sunday will set you back and where you can find it. Candlelight?
You're definitely going to want to eat some ice cream today, probably even for breakfast. It's that hot out there as you're stepping out the door. Temps already reaching the mid-80s. Very sunny and bright, and we will reach those triple digits again. But there is more moisture trying to make its way back into the borderland. When we could see those rain chances is next in the KFOX 14 Morning News. It's coverage you can count on. Welcome back at 7:44. Again, right now we're getting a live view of a portion of the utility bridge that has now collapsed in the downtown area via our KFOX 14 sky cam. You can see several agencies on scene. No reports of any injuries at this point following the collapse that happened just a couple of minutes ago. And again, all of this damage here in the area caused by a fiery semi-truck crash that happened Thursday afternoon. We've had crews on the scene bringing you team coverage since that crash yesterday in the overnight and now the morning hours. And so again, I-10 remains shut down in both directions. And now with this portion of the bridge that's collapsed, it is obviously going to take some more time for crews to make repairs. At this point, TxDOT has said it's unknown until how long they'll have the area closed. They were hoping to try and open it up by the evening rush today. Now with that collapse, I don't think that's going to be the case. Traffic slowing down now in both directions. Again, if you absolutely don't have to head this way, you want to avoid it. There are now delays not only along I-10 in both directions, but along Paisano and along North Mesa. So again, consider taking Montana, Alameda, or the border highway if you have to head to this area of central and downtown El Paso. Trans Mountain, seen a little bit of busier traffic for those of you that are cutting through the area, but I'm not tracking major delays and no reports of any other crashes out there. Weather-wise, things are calm. It's just going to be hot out there as you're stepping out the door. Temps are already in the 80s. Right now, you can see that sun already shining bright up in the sky with our WeatherNet cam here with Rudolph Cars in West El Paso. Again, humidity sticking around, some slight moisture still trying to push back in, but right now our precipitation, that moisture is still below average. Again, an area of high pressure pushed in, but right now as we take a look at satellite, the moisture still trying to wrap back around. Unfortunately, what we had seen that could give us a slight chance for rain again today has pushed off to our west. So over the next 48 hours, it's going to be clear, sunny, and hot skies. Triple digits in the forecast today into your weekend. 102 your high for El Paso, 102 for Las Cruces. El Paso slightly hotter tomorrow at 103. So again, prepare for the heat. And we'll take a closer look at when we could see more chances for rain as we head into next week coming up.
A local soccer team suffers a big loss, but it didn't happen on the playing field. The equipment they lost when a concession stand went up in flames. Next on the KFOX 14 Morning News.
Welcome back. Coming up on 7:50, a fire inside a concession stand in Chaparral has left one local soccer team without equipment.
It happened Tuesday night at the Dolores Wright Memorial Park. The Chaparral Roadrunners lost everything, including their soccer balls, hurdles, exercise ladders, cones, and nets. Coach Raimundo Vasquez says the team's practices are now on hold without the equipment.
It's the time of day that they mostly look forward to, because a couple of parents, they do tell me that throughout the day they're nagging to see, well, what time we're going to practice. So if we stop this if we stop what we're doing, they will kind of affect a little bit the morale.
There's still no word on what caused the fire. Coach Vasquez says they plan to have a cleanup event in September to help raise money to replace their soccer equipment.
We're about 10 minutes away from the top of the hour and taking a look at some weekend events now. It's going to be a hot one. Wet and Wild, always an option, of course. And another way to cool off this weekend is going to be with the grand opening of the Baked Bear on the west side. It's a new ice cream sandwich shop that's going to open in Westtown Marketplace. The first 300 people in line for the 1 p.m. grand opening will get a free cold treat. The first 20 in line will get a t-shirt. Also, the new Ross will open in Westtown Marketplace tomorrow as well. And you can try out with UTEP Athletics for their halftime performances coming up. Tryouts are going to be held for anyone looking to perform. They're looking for halftime performances as well as singers for the national anthem and God Bless America. Tryouts are from 9 to 5 at Memorial Gym tomorrow. Top talent will then go on to compete for a $1,000 grand prize during the season, and everyone must pre-register online if you're interested in trying out tomorrow. And you can find that link to the RSVP form on our website at kfoxtv.com.
It is 7:52 now as we're checking back in with the roadways. And so again, right now we're getting a live look at the delays that are already adding up in the area as I-10 is shut down in both directions at I-10. So at this point, eastbound traffic is already backed up through Schuster. We're going to see delays continue to add up if people don't take those alternate routes. On the opposite end, traffic is backed up now past Copia, which that's going to end up reaching the Spaghetti Bowl. So again, please consider taking Montana, the border highway, if you have to absolutely head this way. Through traffic, not looking too bad through the Trans Mountain area. It's a little busy for traffic that is actually cutting across from the west side and headed eastbound. So give yourself some extra time to plan ahead. Again, this area is shut down until further notice. Weather-wise this morning, it is sunny and hot out there already as you're stepping out the door. Temps in the 80s throughout the borderland. We're certainly one of the warmest throughout Texas. We are going to continue to see these temperatures increase throughout the borderland for today. Again, an area of high pressure moved through the area from our northwest, and that is what has pushed our temperatures now above average. We still have some moisture that is trying to push through the area, but we're not going to see that over the next couple of days. We will not see more moisture head our way until next week. So right now, our forecast looking like this: 102-year high for today. Those triple digits stay with us through the weekend, all the way to our Monday, which is expected to be the hottest day with a high of 105. Then that moisture looks to push back into the area on our Tuesday through Thursday, bringing us more rain chances, and that could help drop our temperatures into those upper and mid 90s.
Well, earlier this week, fishermen in Russia's Krasnodar region came about a water spout in the Black Sea. In a video filmed from their fishing boat, the men described their astonishment as this natural phenomenon which can be seen in the horizon. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, a water spout is a whirling column of air and water mist that fall into two categories: either fair weather water spouts or tornadic water spouts. The Krasnodar region saw flooding after heavy rains from last week through this past Monday.
New York City is now home to the nation's most expensive cup of ice cream. Baccarat Hotel's Bear Extraordinaire costs $1,500 a serving. The base of the dessert is house-made vanilla ice cream that includes imported vanilla beans from Madagascar. The ice cream is covered in a white chocolate shell that's hand-painted with colored cocoa butter. It's then covered with gold leaf and silver flakes. Spun sugar in the shape of a nest rests on top of the white chocolate shell with fondant butterflies and edible flowers.
We use premium ingredients like the Madagascar vanilla bean. Those are real expensive. We also use black truffles coming from Italy.
The pastry chef says it took her about a month to come up with her super pricey creation. The verdict is in. What jurors decided in the trial of an El Paso police officer accused of causing the death of his baby boy. And we're continuing our coverage of yesterday's semi-crash on I-10, the portion that collapsed this morning, and a live look at the scene next on the KFOX 14 Morning News.